Welcome back. I'm here with Andi McNair, a digital innovation specialist who specializes in all things ed tech that you would ever want to know about and integrate into your classroom. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So, Andi, tell me a little bit about Genius Hour and why it's so special. Because I know it's a passion for you.
Yes.
That you have.
So I love to talk about Genius Hour just because I feel like the students that we have in our classroom today really need to experience learning with meaningful development. And I feel like what better way to do that than to let them explore their passions and for us to weave the standards into that learning. So Genius Hour for me, when I taught in the classroom, was just a way for me to do just that, for my students to be excited about being in school and me to integrate some learning into that as well. So
when you say you were in the classroom, I guess that kind of goes into how did you fit Genius Hour, because that literally is, like you said, a whole new way of teaching. How does that fit in the K-12 educational space?
Yeah, so I was a GT teacher, so I was able to, we did it every time that I had my students. I only had them once a week, so we worked on Genius Hour 1.5 to 2 hours every week. However, if I was in the regular classroom, I can honestly say that I would probably make Genius Hour a priority in my classroom for at least an hour a week. But then again, I also truly believe that Genius Hour is a way of teaching. So letting students learn by doing and through application kind of fit into all day, every day teaching as well.
Is this something that you saw? Is it like a special situation, maybe one kid that kind of leaped out to you as like, man, this is really working, this is a pretty good success?
Yeah, I think really all of my students, as the parents started sharing with me that on the days that they had my class, they were popping out of bed and they were excited to be there. And then as I started realizing, I think really when I was able to weave the standards into their project and they were able to learn the same things that they were learning when I was standing up and teaching, the difference was they were learning through application, so they were learning by doing. And I think that as I watched my students doing that, and I watched them talk to outside experts, and I watched that they shared their work out and heard from other people in the outside world what they thought of their work, I just realized the power of just that ownership that they had. I think that was the power of it, them owning the learning and making it happen, and then me just kind of having a side role in all that.
It's pretty cool. I tell you, we've had a lot of teachers who end up going to her Genius Hour sessions that she puts on. And one in particular came back and started a blog, wanted to reach his kids more by doing that passion-based learning. He is an innovation teacher, and so he definitely can see where that fits, but he also wants to push it into that every child can do this from that you talk about. So I think that's pretty awesome that you market it to everybody and not just those upper ups, as we call it sometimes. Now, of course, the upper ups too, we got to make sure that we're pushing them as well. But we definitely give every student the chance and the ability to pursue what it is that they want to learn how to do. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that's so true. And I think that a lot of times that's kind of the misconception of Genius Hour. A lot of people put Genius Hour with GT, and if you think about those students that struggle, a lot of them struggle with the traditional school system, and so we don't really know what that would look like for them if we offered them a different way to learn until we do that. So doing things like Genius Hour for even those students that struggle, I think could be a game changer in education for sure.
Well, as our screen went off, that kind of leads me into my next question. So the 6 P's. So we've heard and talked about the 4 C's, which we'll talk about in a later episode. Those are pretty important and pretty awesome too, and it helps me as an instructional person kind of craft integrated tech into the classroom. But tell us a little bit about the 6 P's when it comes to Genius Hour.
Yeah, so the 6 P's were kind of born out of my own students having a hard time understanding the process of Genius Hour. And as I've talked to teachers and just a lot of people in the Genius Hour community, just having that process for them to follow and know exactly when I finish this, what do I do? And even though Genius Hour is such it's so student driven that a lot of times they can lose their focus because they just don't know what to do next. So the 6 Ps, actually I woke up in the middle of the night one night and realized that every part of the process that we were using for Genius Hour started with the letter P. And so the 6 Ps were born, and so we start with passion, and the students come up with their passion and what they want to do, what they want to create, and kind of what they're into. And that's hard for kids. They don't naturally know that. That's not something that they think about often because they're not given the opportunity to. And then they plan their project out. So setting those priorities, deciding who their outside expert is going to be. And then one of my favorite parts is when they pitch that idea to the class. So when they come to the rest of the class and say, here's my idea, and the class gets to give them feedback. Here's what we like about your idea. Here's what we don't like about your idea. And then project, when they actually work on their project, talk to their outside expert, that's when they really reflect and the learning really happens, and we can kind of weave the standards into that. And then they come up with a product, something that they can share out. What did you create? What did you make? What did you design? And then they give a presentation to the class, which can also be shared out with the world, presenting what they've learned in that process and what they kind of their final takeaway from what they've done.
Pretty cool. It sounds like it's a pretty self-explanatory type roadmap that kind of helps teachers out and students out to when it comes to doing this whole Genius Hour. Because some teachers feel like, how can I do this? Do I have the time to do this? This to me is kind of gets me going in the right direction in what I need to do to harness that process in my classroom. So that's pretty cool. I like the 6 P's, and I think it's funny that you just kind of came up with it, how it just kind of came to you, then everything you do starts with letter P.
Yeah.
So I like it. But that's that part of the innovative side that we see a lot with you. So that's pretty cool. Another way to kind of help get a more grasp on Genius Hour, Andi came out with a book. So tell us a little bit about that book and where that idea came from. What made you want to write a book?
Yeah, so I think I really didn't want to write a book. I had several people asking about the 6 Ps, and I shared it on Twitter and got a great response, and sharing it at conferences. And so several people were asking, I want to know more about the 6 Ps, we want to know more about each step. And at that time, I didn't really know that much about the 6 Ps, other than the process I had come up with and how it worked in my classroom. And so I actually just jumped off the cliff. I just went for it and wrote a book proposal, and it was accepted, and I was so excited and just really a little bit overwhelmed. But now that I'm at the end of it, I've really started to realize that it's helped me reflect on Genius Hour, what it's been in my classroom. So the book is called Genius Hour, Passion Projects that Ignite Innovation and Student Inquiry. And I'm just really excited about being able to share the process and then just personal stories of what that's looked like in my classroom. So the struggles that we went through, there were many. The struggles that we've gone through, what's worked, what hasn't worked. And then just sharing the technology that can be used. Like, a process like this, Genius Hour, something that's so new and unknown to teachers, if it's not manageable for them, then they can't do it, and we can't expect them to do it. So I feel like the book really offers a lot of technology that makes the process meaningful for the students, but manageable for teachers.
Awesome. So if you're looking for a guide to Genius Hour, that's the book you need to pick up. So speaking of the book, where and when are teachers, educators, and even from what I understand, Google started up whole 20% of the time. So even businesses, industry leaders out there, where can they find and buy this book?
Yeah, so the book will be released in March. That's the goal. So release date is in March, and it can be ordered on Proof Rock Press's website. And I think you can pre-order now. So I will give you the link, and we can post that up where you can pre-order now, and it'll be released in March and ready for purchase.
All right. So this is Andi McNair and Willie Thomas here, and I want to thank you for coming out and talking with me and interviewing, talking about Genius Hour. I'm anxious to see it in all the classrooms around the world, and we're stretching for the world. That's what we do this. Once again, if you need that roadmap, that book, go get it out there, Genius Hour book that Andi wrote, and I will leave links in the show notes and descriptions. That way you can go find that. And once again, if you like what you heard, please subscribe. Hit that like button as well, and we'll catch you next time here on another episode of Educate Thomas Vlog.